Hello, everyone. Today we have two very sweet dogs, and I'm going to jump right in to their mom's email to me. And she wants to introduce us to Delilah, who is her current dog, and she is a rescue. And she's the one in the pink harness and the mohawk. Love the hairstyle, by the way. And the other is Kodi, and she is the little Yorkie who passed in 2021. I do have permission from Delilah's conscious self, higher self, and her soul to look into their Akashic records and see how it's tied to their mom's soul contract and what it is that there are they are contracted to teach their mom in this lifetime. And same with Kodi, even though the pets have crossed over to the other side, they are still working with us. And I do have permission from Kodi's spirit to connect with her and channel messages from her, and also look into her soul contract, Kodi's soul contract, to see what else is she learning and assisting from the other side. Let's first dive into the cards that speak about the energy that is coming forward. And then the other cards, as always, will get into the details of what that energy is going to bring, such as karmic lessons that are being closed and any virtues that are being upgraded at this time. Let's see, let's begin. I'm hearing Kodi say, please read them all out first. I find that the pets want me to read all the cards out first, rather than my usual style of addressing each card one by one, which is fine. I am happy to work with them and their style because the pets have been so wonderful with working according to my style of how I use the tarot cards or how my spirit team likes to use the tarot cards. So it's teamwork happening here. Bring love into the situation. You and your loved ones are safe. A new romantic cycle begins. How exciting. This card has come up multiple times in other pet readings. A new romantic cycle begins. If it has come up for you and you resonated with this card in other pet readings, then you do want to listen to this one, because sometimes you might discover a new guidance that you realized that you needed. Let's start with bring love into the situation. What do you mean by that? Kodi wants to speak about this, and she's the one in spirit. More of bringing self-compassion and self-kindness. So that's what Kodi is speaking about. There is this desire in all of us, isn't there, to want to be perfectionists and make sure everything's in place. And when things fall apart or don't go as planned, we might beat ourselves up a bit. We are our own worst critic. That is true, says Kodi. And she said she's seen it energetically and felt it in humans all around her. And she's quite saddened by it. She says she wishes we're all much more kinder to ourselves. So do practice that self compassion and self kindness. It's so important to do that now as Venus retrograde is about to close, which, as you all know, Venus retrograde has stirred up a lot of stuff in terms of relationships, and that includes relationships to ourselves. You may have noticed that you took part in certain things, or you're starting to take accountability and responsibility in the ways that you have conducted your life or the way you made choices or decisions. And when those realizations kick in of, oh, I did have a part in that, be kind to yourself. Know that you did the best you could back then based on the healed aspects of yourself and also the unhealed aspects of yourself that were all playing out all at once. And on top of that, ancestral negative beliefs that were like the engine behind it too. We'll get more into what those ancestral beliefs may have been later on in the other cards. But for now, Kodi is saying, please be kind to yourself. And I'm having to clear my throat quite a bit. I'm feeling extremely thirsty all of a sudden. And Kodi is saying, everyone, please hydrate yourselves really well, because with this Venus retrograding ending, there is a 2-week shadow period where the purging is going to come to a close, or realizations may come through, which means integration is starting from everything that you've experienced in the past few weeks with a few planets retrograding. Drink lots of water to keep yourself well hydrated. And Kodi is explaining it this way. When she was still here with us on Earth, and she was really well hydrated, she felt she could fully function and think at the physical level. But being well hydrated also allowed her to really tap into her intuition. And that makes sense to me personally, because when I'm well hydrated, I am so much more connected to spirit. And that's because water is a good conductor of energy. And that's why when I'm doing healing sessions or doing circles, meditation circles, and it's raining outside, it makes me so happy, because I know there's so much energy that's being channeled. Or whatever energy that's being channeled, it's being multiplied by 10 times or more. So being well hydrated will allow this integration to happen at the physical level. So you can continue flushing out stored toxins in your body, but also allowing those insights and aha moments to pop up and integrate in your mind. So really take good care of yourself. That's what bring love into the situation means. Even if you're showing yourself a lot of love and compassion, ask yourself, how can I bring more of that into myself? How can I make it even better to make myself feel even more loved? And pets are really good at showing us the standard of love we want to feel, right? So imagine yourself holding your favorite pet, or hugging or holding your favorite person, and there's this feeling of love that wells up inside you. How can you create that for yourself and by yourself? Asks Kodi. Maybe it's giving or scooping yourself some ice cream, but realizing, maybe I'll add fruit to it to make it even better. But to make it even better, maybe I'll add some cookie crumbs to it. Ooh, okay, can I level this up even more? Maybe I'll make myself a tea or something. So see how you can increase or up level the frequency of love that you are giving to yourself. How can I make this even better? Ask yourself that every time you do something for yourself. And if you need assurance during this time of Venus retrograding coming to an end, and the energy of it integrating within you, know that you and your loved ones are safe. And it also means physical safety, but it actually means something else in this particular reading. And that is that emotional safety and just feeling safe within the body. There is some definition of what home really is coming to a completion in some ways. And it's more that first spiritual cycle of defining what home is and what is that to you personally. And I feel like there's something bigger coming through in the latter half of this year, where your definition of home is going to expand. It's going to be much more detailed, because you've done so much more healing up until that point to realize, okay, what I thought was home was actually this. I want to change my definition of what home really means, what connection means, what belonging means, and any other virtues that may come up for you. Speaking of virtues that may help you define what home is, that's the next set of cards that are coming up. But the last part, or the last card, with the energy that's coming forward is a new romantic cycle beginning. And I feel like I touched upon that of what does this home feel like? How do I want to feel at home with myself? Do I feel at home within my own body and with who I am and who I am becoming? Because when we feel really safe within ourselves, that's another definition of home, isn't it? And that's the question that Spirit likes to put out to us quite a bit of, do you feel at home with yourself? Do you feel comfortable with who you are? Because there's so much out there, and the human mom's ancestors are coming forward and saying social media does such a bad job in creating these really high expectations of what self-image or self-confidence is and what home should look like. And another ancestor is joking and saying AI doesn't help either because everything looks all made up. So that just makes those pictures and dreams really, really out of reach, don't they? Says your spirit guide. Like everything just feels like it's such a high standard, and you're still working on yourself and you're trying to reach those standards or try to find inspiration, but those really strange standards that are out there are influencing us at the subconscious level in some ways. So look into that. I know people who do listen to these messages or who are part of my Patreon community are willing to go deeper. So go deeper with what Spirit just shared with you. Anything that may be out there and you feel inspired by or repelled by, maybe you're disgusted by it, resented, or want to resist it, look into that. Where is that resistance or disgust coming from? Because that's a block in some ways. And go even deeper. Does that block somehow exist within your DNA, within the ancestral realm? Sometimes we resist huge pots of money, like winning a large amount of money in the lottery, because we feel like having a lot of money might make us feel guilty or money might corrupt us. So those are interesting beliefs that are really, really common in people who come to work with me to work through their abundance blocks. So really go into and check with how images out there trigger things within you. A little homework if you want to try that out. A new romantic cycle not just refers to this definition of how you feel comfortable with yourself, but how you are flowing with life. Are you feeling in love with life, or do you feel like you just have to catch up to life every time you wake up in the morning? When you wake up in the morning, is there any fear of uncertainty of the future? Because those things are being shifted and cleared right now, and you're going to feel like there's a sense of renewed connection to the way you want to live and flow with life. And another thing about this card is when it comes out, it does often refer to this upgraded way of communicating with the universe. You might find yourself manifesting things a lot faster than normal, which is very exciting. When things manifest quickly, it means that you've really worked through a lot of your abundance blocks. So that's a wonderful sign when things happen really fast for you. And I do feel like that's happening quite a bit to a lot of people. Let's get into that second pile of cards. And this speaks to the virtues and the life lessons or any karmic lessons that are coming to a close, and perhaps virtues that needs to be updated. And who is speaking? I want to double check both Delilah and Kodi. It will be Delilah's higher self. The higher selves could really speak a lot to what's in the soul contract. The conscious self, who they really are in this present world. They're more about expressing the reality of things, how they really see you. Did your heart rate go up when I said that? Animals read our energy, right? There are 4 cards here. Usually 3 cards come out from each tarot deck, but 4 cards had come out. And they want to go one by one. Okay, let's do that. This is good. Going forward, with a new cycle starting, you're going to feel less fearful of what's coming up for you. And in this picture, and by the way, when this card comes out, it's good news that you are making progress. In this picture, there's a beautiful road that disappears over beautiful green hills and towards the sunlight, where the sun is rising. And this is a beautiful, beautiful message here about new opportunities rising up along the horizon for you. So keep going. Right now, the road feels a little empty, and that might be causing some uncertainty and waking up in the morning going, okay, what do I need to do to secure my future? But know that things just need to be cleared right now, energy needing to be integrated within you. And then when you take that deep breath, those opportunities will come. Right now, it's time to just take it a little easy, they're saying. And speaking of taking it easy, the next card speaks about delight. So this goes back to the previous message, doesn't it? Of when you're showing yourself love or treating yourself, how can you make it better? When you're showing yourself some self-compassion and kindness, how can you up-level that, right? And I'm seeing inner children come out, which tells me that it's your healed but also wounded inner children wanting to come through and saying, hey, we need some applause or pat on the back saying, well, good job, well done, or some other forms of comfort just to boost their self-esteem, because it's those wounded inner children that are coming forward who are going to be part of your next spiritual cycle here, the new cycle that's beginning for you. And one of those things that they really want to work through is joy, delight, right? How does that feel to be expressed every day without feeling like it's going to end abruptly by something bad that's going to happen when I get back home, or when I get back home, I have to be serious again because, there's no one looking out for me, or it feels inappropriate to express joy or delight. So really explore that. There's this need to express joy and delight when they want to or when they need to, because they need to reconnect back to that life force energy that they see as joy and delight. So how those ice cream parties? The next thing that Delilah and Kodi are contracted to teach you is about diligence. So where do you need to be a little bit more diligent in regards to your self-care? Do you need to actually schedule it in? Because for a lot of us, and this is everyone's spirit guide here in the community stepping in now, they're saying a lot of us have a lack of schedule in our lives where we set time aside to connect with ourselves or set time aside to connect with spirit. So whichever one you're feeling called to do, please schedule that in. It doesn't have to be 20 minutes or 2 hours. It could be as simple as 5 minutes. In those few moments of stillness, a lot could be downloaded into you from the spirit world. So be diligent about that. And are there any parts in your life that you need to be a little bit more diligent of? And this goes to half the people in our community, where we need to be more diligent of planning for the future, and diligent as in intention setting. When you desire something, be diligent. Ask yourself, okay, I want that and I want to plan for that, but is it being driven by fear? Because sometimes when we set intentions, it could be fear driven. And when we address that fear and heal it, then our intentions will change to something more positive. And the intention will most likely come from a healed and more confident aspect from ourselves. Look into that. How are you setting your intentions? And what is driving you to set those intentions? So diligently ask yourself those questions to really keep yourself in check, to make sure that you are operating from an honest part of your heart. And this goes to, like they said, half the people in the community. So if it lands with you, wonderful. And some of you may need to be diligent. So this is the human mom's spirit guide coming in. We will need to be a little bit diligent in our paperwork or our task that we're doing, just to check things over twice. And patience is a huge virtue that you are learning at this time. So are you trying to force something to go through by planning something too hard? Why does this keep coming up for our community? But patience, that's one of the virtues that Delilah and Kodi are working with you right now. How to be patient with yourself, right? Maybe you need to patiently go through the process of giving yourself love instead of just scooping that bowl of ice cream and saying, yeah, good enough. Just be patient, just step back and go, wait a minute, do I need anything else? Can I add more to this to make this experience even better? So remember that. How can I make this experience better? And I'm not sure if the microphone caught it, but there's a hammering that happened outside. And that spirit's way of saying, are we hammering that into your mind? So your patience might also be tested if things aren't going down smoothly on that road, right? That was shown on the going forward card. So as you're learning how to go forward or move forward in life, you're also learning about when to practice patience. There are times when things need to align, ducks need to align before things can happen. And that could really test our patience, right? Let's go into the cards that the ancestors have pulled out with the help from Delilah. They're saying, Delilah is saying, please get grounded. And this is Delilah's conscious self, so who she is right now in her body. And dogs are so good at knowing when humans are not grounded enough. They might start to whimper and whine of needing to go outside, letting you know, hey, overdue for a walk outside. So get grounded. And in particular, for those who are empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. That's the message on the card. And connecting with nature and being outdoors is so important when integrating from all those planets that were retrograding, right? And when we walk outside, we can get lost in our own thoughts where we are reflecting. And when you're doing that, excellent, allow those thoughts to come through because there may be insights. And within those insights, you might realize something that will then turn into wisdom. And from there, any karmic lessons may close itself in your Akashic record. Starseed, what lights you up? Asks Delilah and the ancestors. And that goes back to the virtue you were learning, right? Delight. What delights you? How have you suppressed the delight? Or have you adopted the collective consciousness's belief system that you can only reward yourself and receive delight or joy after you've done something? And how about sometimes mixing it up a bit? Just reward yourself first, acknowledging that, okay, this is going to motivate me, and then I'll reward myself something else again. Or maybe the same reward. Have fun with how you take delight in motivating and rewarding yourself, says Spirit and Delilah. I once, and it only happened once, I had ice cream in my coffee. It's called affogato. It's an Italian way of having coffee and ice cream together. But I did that once, and that was such a fun morning. It boosted the creativity because it charged up my inner child, because she realized, oh, I could have ice cream in the morning. So that was quite the concept for my inner child. And I only needed to do it once. So if you're worried about rewarding yourself or exploring delight may take you off the road, it might not, right? Maybe it's a one-time thing that would charge up your energy and allow your inner child to have that one-time experience that they wanted to have when they were at that age. And more hammering just happened outside. So another double yes from the spirit world. Align your life is the next card, and the final card from what's being asked of the ancestors. What is not aligned or needs to change? As you're going down that road, remember that image on the going forward card, and your patience is being tested. When things feel stagnant, or you feel like you're just waiting around for something to happen, then something is out of alignment perhaps, and you need to look at what are the negative beliefs that are coming up while your patience is being tested. And explore other thoughts that are coming up in your mind, the beliefs behind those thoughts. And I'm just tuning into the card and seeing what else they want to talk here. No, that's all that they want to say. Just looking into what needs to be released from your life, relationship-wise. Maybe you need to readjust your relationship to work and how you see it, and align it so that your expectations or you negotiating your job description or job title would help you to align your work with your soul's purpose, or where you want to go next, or how you want to be recognized as a person who has something to contribute. They are asking me, who is this that's talking to me? Kodi. Okay, Kodi. Kodi wants to get into the final stack of cards, and these I feel like may have already been addressed, because there's quite a bit of energy I feel that has lowered in this particular pile of cards, which means I've channeled most of the messages. Let's get into this, because there were quite a bit of cards that had come out from this particular tarot deck. There's 6. Let's start with the first one, Shadow. And in the card there, you see a mirror image, right? And that represents that light and dark aspects of ourselves that are coming out right now. The light aspect of ourselves are trying to see the wisdom in what we're experiencing, and the dark aspect, which is our unhealed parts, ancestral and past life, where they're saying, no, I like these negative beliefs, and these are the fears that I want to hang on to. If you find yourself wanting to hang on to a fear and you have identified what those fears are, take a step back and go, why am I hanging on to it? And oftentimes it's about safety. It keeps you safe. And I've seen this, which is quite common in a lot of abundance blocks, which is I don't want to have too much money, because then I don't want people to resent me and look at me as a corrupt person. And there's a fear of judgment there, isn't it? The fear of not belonging, right? The fear of not feeling at home because people might judge you for what you have, or the number in your bank account, or however that people may judge you based on the abundance that you have. So look into that. Where are those blocks occurring in your life? Where are those negative beliefs coming up? And are you wanting still to hang on to that? Because it is possible to have something that's beyond your wildest imaginings and still be a good person and still be well balanced, right? And that's what the shadow card is saying. It's possible to be well balanced. The number 18 here is coming through, and it speaks about the time frame. Whenever numbers stand out to me in a reading, it speaks about divine timing. And I feel this speaks about 18 months. And this may be that 18-month process you're going to go through right now when all these planets retrograding ends. And you're just feeling the energy and going, there's this light aspect of me and there's this dark aspect of me. And I'm being very aware of that. I'm being aware now of these blocks that are within me. And I'm curious to go into the shadow parts now. Where are those fears coming from? And I feel like there's this new level of bravery and curiosity coming through. And that's going to lead you to that spiritual union. How wonderful that this card had come out right after the shadow card, because it means that there's that balance that's coming in within you of, okay, I accept who I am now. And I've grown quite a bit, the light aspect of myself, but there's that shadow aspect, and I'm okay with that. I'm not judging it, but I'm holding space for it, and I'm exploring it. I am in dialogue with it. There's some pretty deep spiritual work happening here, and you're going to become more in spiritual union with yourself and with how the universe works. And when we're in this state of spiritual union, that wonderful balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you, things can manifest quite quickly and your relationships could deepen. So the spiritual union card is buzzing and cording very powerfully into the card that spoke about a new romantic cycle beginning. It's like this renewed level, this beautiful depth in the relationship that's growing and blossoming. Well, of course, right after spiritual union, the temptation card. And this speaks about be careful of the shadow side speaking too loudly and overcoming you. So just be aware of that, but rest assured that there is a spiritual union and this whole beautiful balance coming in. And again, Spirit pulls out wonderfully the next card, the universe. So know that things are coming into balance. Just be aware of how the energies are working through you and any thoughts that are coming up into your awareness and any thoughts that might be lingering in the back and might be running on autopilot that's no longer serving you. As that awareness is coming in, the universe is going to bring in those moments to release those limiting blocks within you. And again, when the universe card comes out, it just means that whatever you manifested in the past, it's going to come very, very soon. Just be patient, says Kodi. Remember that card, patience? Are you all smacking your hand on your forehead? Whenever the patience card comes out, I could just feel everyone's soul rolling their eyes going, oh God, here we go again, patience. That damn P word. But rest assured, so look at this, following the universe card, passion ignited and material harvest card had popped out. So do work through those spheres, do be aware of it, and be curious and be forgiving of yourself too, of how you may have allowed those belief systems to dictate your choices and your behaviors and anything else, because I could feel a lot of that energy of regret and resentment and self-judgment that might come through in the next few weeks. So do be kind to yourself, be curious about those feelings coming up, explore it, feel it, acknowledge them, and be in dialogue with it. As Spirit keeps saying, be in dialogue with it, because talking to it or feeling it will allow yourself to heal, because we are our own healers, right? We are our own healers. They keep saying that over and over. And when you heal yourself, the passion within you will be ignited, knowing that there will be clarity coming in. And when clarity comes in, we make better decisions, or we're able to receive from the universe whatever we manifested in the past, and material harvest will come in. And Kodi is saying we will end on that note. Material harvest is coming. Be patient. Oh, good one, Kodi. She was able to work the word patience again. Well, I hope you enjoyed these messages. Let me just tune into Kodi and Delilah. Do you have anything else to say? No, they're quite happy. Delilah's higher self is saying Kodi ended this perfectly. The other word, perfect. Thank you. I wish you all a beautiful day. Bye.